Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to upload custom fonts to Design Sensei and what that actually does for you. So there are some people who are new to print on demand in general. You know, they come from other areas of the world. They make passive income from other areas. Sometimes it's affiliate marketing, sometimes it's websites, etc. But Design Sensei takes a lot of the work out of creating the designs, right? So how do you actually upload custom fonts and what do they do for you? Well, a custom font is just a different way that your design is going to look like. So for example, if I go over here and I create, let's just say I ask the AI to create for me happy motivational quotes, and we'll set the style to funny, okay? And we're going to use the algorithm number 2, which is, by the way, something that I'm working on. You'll find out what that is right now. And we just set it to, let's say, 20 different designs. So really what I'm ordering it to do now is I'm basically asking it for me to create 20 different quotes that are happy, motivational quotes, right? And they're funny. So the AI is going to think of what to do, and it's going to create these different quotes, right? And so here you could see, for example, my therapist said nap more. So that could be, a decent quote. Let's put a smile on it, right? And let's just say this may or may not get sales. That's why we have so many here. Living my best couch life. So many of these. But this design looks kind of bland. It looks kind of weak, honestly, just the way it is. So what I could do first is I'm going to first control my spacing, right? So my bottom text, I want it a certain space away from the design, and then I want my design a certain space away from my top text, and then I can control how big I want the image to be. Okay, so you can see here, I can make it smaller, I can make it bigger, etc. All right, but what about font? Because sometimes this font doesn't work for this design, right? So like here we have a few fonts already loaded. So for example, we have the Game of Thrones font, right? We have the Helvetica, we have Georgia, we have Times New Roman. We have all these different fonts, and we're adding more. I just added one right now, which, you'll probably see it in a different video. But let's go ahead and upload a custom font. What if you have a custom font? Let's hit Choose File here, and let's go to the font where we'll find it. So probably go here to my downloads, and I'll actually just grab it and just drop it here. So this is the font here. Let's go ahead and upload it, and let's click Upload Font. And so we have a font that's currently uploaded, and here is the font. So once I click on this, now it immediately changes the way that the design looks, right? And I can control how big the font is, so how large it is. I can control, the spacing, because now the image is kind of encroaching on the font, so I might, want to create, increase that gap. I might even want to change colors if I really want to. Like I might go with like a pastel kind of color, like a light green color. I might want my image to match it. I might even want to add an outline to my design. So go with something like this. But this will do this for every single one of my designs. So here, stronger than my last excuse. I can click on any one of these, fueled by coffee and chaos, right? And the intelligent thing here is I have to pick an image that kind of works with the quote concept, right? Which all comes down to the niche and the topic. And then I create all these different designs in a situation where I'm using a shotgun approach. So I've spoken about this before, but in print on demand, there's only two ways to or two different strategies. You have the sniper method, you have the shotgun method. You see different accounts, like for example with Merch by Amazon, who have these, where they're allowed to upload 500 different designs. They're not really doing full research on every single one of those designs, right? At some point in time, it becomes a number of opportunity. It becomes a number of chance. And so it's kind of like a lottery system. They create all different types of designs, just like this, but in their case, it might be different. Like for example, if they're going to create a birthday shirt, right? Like today is my birthday, I turned 1. They're going to create like 50 designs, and it's going to go from ages 1 all the way to 50. and they're just hoping that one of those designs kind of sell. So you have to kind of think about what your position is, but this is clearly a tool used for the shotgun method, right? This is not really a sniper method. It's more of a shotgun method. So you could change colors, you could change fonts, you could do anything, but changing fonts gives some real fluidity to your design. It actually gives us some real presence, and it makes sense. If I used a font like this, for example, right? I mean, it could work. Some people could see it working for sure. But, some fonts, let's be honest, they don't always look as good. And once again, you could change colors. Colors really gives a lot of emphasis to a specific design. You could change, the width of the outline, right? Because if you look at this design, let's be honest, if you just take a look at this design and then compare it to the one with some width around it, and you could change the color of whatever outline width it is, it does give it some more detail, okay? Now, not to say that this is difficult to do. This is not difficult to do whatsoever, but if I had to sit down and do this for 50, 60, 100 designs, well, I could do it in a matter of 2 seconds with this tool, right? So, for me personally, it just makes sense to use something like this, but I had the question, about fonts, how to upload them, how to make it work, etc. For those who are curious, we introduced the concept of the algorithms, and we're currently building on these algorithms. And what are the algorithms? The algorithm is just the setup as how the image looks, or the design looks. So a lot of the times you'll see different t-shirts with just text, or just an image. In our case, algorithm 1 is, and I'll click start over here, is it's literally just text and an image. Algorithm 2, right, is text, image, text. So it's a different kind of setup. We'll make it look a little bit better with time, but if you remember in our passive income school, then we're constantly doing updates. Like today we deployed a bunch of updates. And our next update is going to be a lot more fonts. We're still adding more to the algorithms. We're going to also include for version 2 a automatic uploader tool, so it can upload to all different platforms automatically. At least that's what we're attempting to do. We have to look through rules and things like that with different platforms, but it's a really kind of decent advantage to have in the print-on-demand space where you have to upload plenty amounts of designs, and it clearly helps. So yeah, hopefully this video helps you guys out. Pretty simple, pretty basic, but I did have multiple questions on this, so I figured I'd put it out. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye.